starting from weekly, obviously these guys have closed pretty much high. And if you look at this previous point around that, they took out this high and went up. Okay, so this particular bearish guy there was probably a retest and a continuation. Now that price have closed higher, it is gonna give us some sort of structure in future. Okay, so this is just gonna be a very, very weird structure. Should price continue for the next week, then the next structure created will be this particular one right there. Okay, so if we move down to the daily, let me see if I can delete this. Okay, if we move down to the daily, same thing. Let me zoom in a bit. If you look at it, you can see for the past 5 days, this thing was in a bullish. The bias closed much higher. This was after a pullback of this particular point. You can see price broke out aggressively. And look at this. Is this a reversal? I look at this as continuations, particularly when they are on resistance, the so-called hanging man, because remember the psychology behind that is that somebody got rejected. Okay, I've said that enough. Somebody got rejected. This thing came down and went back up, so it's showing us the price was moving fast and then went back up again because of that particular rejection. So sellers couldn't hold and they were rejected by buyers. So this is just a sign of continuation. Similar to this, you can see similar to what happened here. Price came back down and attempted to actually come lower and then it failed. So these are sort of fake outs. If you were to sort of look at them like that, you'll have to do your own research on that. So these are fake outs. So fake outs at the same time, they are rejections. Obviously, we can say that this was a break, retest, and then gave us that sign that we're about to continue, and price did continue. So same thing up here. If you look at that, price tried to come back down and it was sort of rejected once more. So this could be a sign that the continuation it's possible, but it's very, very dangerous to actually place buyers up here because we are at our extreme high. This is our highest high. Okay, so if you come down, you can see the same point here on the H4 chart that we're still sitting around that particular point. So it is very, very dangerous, of course, for one to start opening buy positions here because none of the dynamic structures or trend lines are closer to this particular area, particularly if you are a trend trade, particularly if you want to follow the uptrend on NAS. None of structures are gonna give you access to that if you look at that. So these trends are sort of out of sync for now. Okay, because you can see it came back down, hit this dynamic structure where the ATR was, ATR projection was, and then went back up. Okay, hit that structure instantly and then went back up. So this is exactly where the buyers were sitting. Other buyers were somewhere there. The H1 buyers were violated, who were actually triggering this particular pair yesterday with the members, of course. So if you look at this, came down there, hit that structure and then went back up. If you come down to this was the only reliable sort of a time frame together with M30 that we're sort of looking for buys from or to ride back to the upside. Okay, but it was violated as well. An aggressive violation followed by what? Followed by a move back up. So there was that zigzag action this there that took place and then it went back up. Okay, so what is that? So it means that this actually sort of discouraged those who were sort of riding this particular guy. This is a disappointment to them. Obviously, they're disappointed if they're looking, if we are willing to ride this, or maybe you had a set of trend lines drawn around that point and you see them getting broken. That is to discourage you, and you can see that this thing is back up to the same structure. But it doesn't necessarily mean that now that it's back up to the same level or above those structures that we had, you can automatically go ahead and buy. Okay, you need to gain trust. They need to sort of give you that sort of steam, steam. So in other words, it needs to move up higher and come back so that these guys can gain confidence once more, because this thing just closed above, or alternatively it will have to come down a little bit to this particular low and then buy up. Okay, but that will be still very, very, very tricky because we're not too far away from resistance. Okay, that's gonna be super, super tight. Our main goal is to avoid buying resistance. Avoid buying resistance. I repeat, avoid buying resistance. That is why every time this thing came down here, the support bought, came back, bought, came back, it bought until it's violated. Okay, and now we have this highest point there, which we cannot actually buy. So if you come back low, M30, okay, same things, we're just seeing it on a much better picture, and you can see 30 minutes still this sort of buyers were discouraged by this candle. Okay, these big candles are there to discourage people. If we're riding this, we're buying, we're discouraged by that, came back down, then it came up again. Okay, so and one other thing, this is why it's important for you to make sure that you have a stop loss. Make sure that you have a stop loss. I know there's a whole lot of things, a lot of people will say stuff about stop losses. Hey, don't put a stop. Hey, the broker, wara, wara, wara. My question to you is, and I'm going to ask it again, how much have you made from not using a stop loss? How much have you made from not using a stop loss? Okay, let me know in the comment section down below. How much have you made from not using a stop loss? Actually, there's a WhatsApp link in the comment section. If you click on that WhatsApp link, it's going to direct you to my personal WhatsApp. Tell me how much you've made from not using a stop loss. There's a WhatsApp link down there. Click on it. I'm going to put it on top. Click on it and let me know. Okay, so now that this thing is trying to re-engage the buyers, where are we going to buy? Let's start there. Where? Move lower. Can we do it here? No. Can we do it much lower? Yes, definitely. Because the XB trend line, watch the video, the previous video, to understand that. There's a 40 minutes video explaining that I've uploaded. So if you check this XB trend line from the W and M concept that we shared, you will see that somewhere around that is where we could possibly buy after a correction. Okay, because at the end of the day, if you're looking at this particular guy there, right, could be a cipher pattern of some sort. Okay, this is where we're most likely to do what, to look for opportunities to, but these are short term. Okay, so buyers could start engaging from here to up there, or they could actually push up so that they motivate back the H1 buyers. That is the only way to motivate these guys. If this thing pushes back up, they're gonna start engaging up to where we can moor a trend line on top. Okay, even if they can get there, they will actually start motivating these guys, because their trend line will still be there. They'll be above the trend line nicely, and then they will still start showing, and they will also motivate the 15 minutes and the 30 minutes. This is where you have to go. You don't have to wait for 30 minutes, but don't go to 5 and 1 minute. Don't go there. Okay, these ones are going to be sort of motivated together with this. These ones are discouraged because they were the first ones to be actually violated. If we're to start from here coming up, okay, they were the first ones to be violated. They were discouraged. Now, in order to gain that trust, we need that push so that these particular areas can start generating again. That is where we're going to actually buy. I hope this short video shows you a bit of what you can do around that. Avoid buying resistance. Okay, people are gonna say, I know it's Nasdaq, it's Nasdaq. Those people who idolizes these things, I don't know. Just have a positive mindset. It is what it is. Trade what you say. Don't trade speculations. If you're looking at that you have a trend line, then you're thinking, oh damn, this trend line, this could be a retest. Maybe price is about to go. Yes, possible, because you are on resistance. It does make sense. Okay, you don't have to sweat. Where are you in space? Support. Where are you in space? Resistance. What do you do around those structures? You buy, support, you sell, resistance. That's it. What more do you want? Okay, let's shut it down. If you like this video, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you're new. Otherwise, sharp sharp.